What's up guys, it's George on my way. Today we are here in the beautiful Porter's Head, but as you can see it's very grey and cloudy, but that's going to work in our favour because today I'm going to show you how to take and make great moody images by using just your smartphone and 2 applications. Let's go. Right, now unfortunately my tripod's just literally broke, so we're going to have to wing it and try and place my camera somewhere so we can get a nice photo of this. Now the photo alone is going to be a little bit boring in the daytime. There's not much colour in it, so we're going to try and give it a moody feel by using 2 applications just to edit it a little bit. Right then, so here we are. Today I'm going to be using my brand new Mate 20 Pro to take these images. I'm using the Mate 20 Pro because it has an amazing 40 megapixel camera which allows you to shoot in RAW. Now, I always shoot in RAW mainly because when editing images I always get the best flexibility and the most dynamic range from the images. If you're using a JPEG image, it compresses that file really small and adds sharpening and different colours and all the stuff that you don't really want. So JPEGs are great for if you're just taking a snap of the family, but if you want to take some really good photos, stick it into RAW and then you're going to be able to get the most quality from your shots. So let's go take some photos. So I'm going to be using the Pro mode on the camera. With the Pro mode, it gives me the full range of settings that I can change on the actual device. So I can change the shutter speed, the ISO, exposure compensation, loads of different things on the actual phone. Afterwards, what we're going to be doing is downloading and using an application called Lens Distortion and Lightroom CC. Both of these applications are free and available to download onto your Android device. Now that we've got our image, I want to take the photo into 2 applications that I regularly use when I take my images. It gives you a little bit of control on changing it to black and white, changing the shadows in the images and making skies and stuff like that a little bit darker and more dramatic. The other one is adding actual filters onto the image. So what we can do, we're going to make it look like it's raining, showing through back sunlit effect. We can come through that lighthousey type of thing. Let's get to it. Right, so now we've taken our photos. I've gone and sat in my car because it's absolutely freezing outside to do the photo edits. So as I said at the start of the video, you're going to need 2 applications on your Android smartphone. You're going to need one called Lens Distortion and another one called Lightroom CC. Now these are both free. Lightroom does have a paid version as well, but that just gives you some additional filters and stuff like that you can play with. So let's head on over to the actual video for the screen recording. So if I bring up my screen recording now, which you should see, what you're going to want to do first is go into Lightroom. Now Lightroom will allow you to adjust the photo into like a black and white and give you that moody effect. Lens Distortion will add different filters and additional things in the actual image, so we'll show you that in a moment. So let's just bring up our image here. So that's not the one we want to do. Whereas, has it gone? Device folders. And we are looking for RAW. That's just ones I've done as a trial earlier. Let's go into here, and it's this image here. So we're going to add that one into Lightroom. Open up the image, which is this one here. And it will just load, and there we go. So as you can see at the bottom here, as I'm scrolling through them, you're going to adjust loads of different things. So you've got your light, which will change your exposure and everything like that. You've got the color, the effects, details, so that's going to be like your sharpness, geometry, so you can distort it, so if something isn't straight, then you can make it straight in there as well. So what we're going to be doing first of all is going straight into the color option, and then you see at the top here where it says color and then next to it black and white, just tap on the black and white bit and it will change it to black and white for you. But we're not completely done yet. So now what we want to do is go into the light panel and adjust some of these settings. Now there are quite a few, but it's quite good with Lightroom. You can scroll through them and you just adjust it to your taste. Okay, so for me, I'm going to drop down the exposure slightly. I'm going to boost some contrast. I'm going to drop the highlights so some of the light comes out of the shadows, out of the sky, sorry. I'm going to boost the shadows so I get more detail in the bottom of the railing and everything like that. Okay, and then we're going to drop some of the whites a little bit from the sky, and then we're going to darken some of those blacks a little bit as well. There we go. So we're not fully finished yet either. We've got something over here called the selective edits menu. So if you press on the selective edits menu, which is the one on the very far left, go on the top left hand corner, which is the plus, and then you've got these three different options. Now the one we're going to be using is the graduated filter, which is the third one. There we go, and then you just drag it down from the top so it covers the sky. Okay, what that's going to do is whatever you edit now, it's only going to affect that portion which is in red. So if I press on light, for example, now, and drop the exposure all the way down, you can see my sky just goes completely dark. So that's what we want to affect. We want to add more drama to the sky by adjusting this bit here. Oh, let's get that one straight, bring that one down, straighten that out a bit, and then bring that a bit further down there. And again, we can adjust so we can make it more contrasty, we can take away some of the highlights, we can boost some of the shadows slightly, we're going to drop some of the whites, and we're going to boost some of the drop some of the blacks as well. There we go, so your sky is a bit moodier. Okay, now that you've done that, the image overall looks quite dark, so I'm going to go back into light, and then I'm going to boost the exposure ever so slightly. There we go. So it makes it a lot brighter for us. Then if we come over to here, you've got your color panel again. You've got your effects panel. Now the effects panel is probably one of my favorite parts of it. This is where you can like boost your clarity. You can make the image look extremely sharp. There's a button here as well called dehaze, which will either add haze to the image or it will take haze out of the image. If there isn't any haze in the image, what it would do, it would just make it a little bit contrasty. You don't want to go too far because well, it's to your taste, but personally, I think it looks a bit silly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to boost the dehaze slightly, and I'm going to use the clarity button as well, and I'm going to boost that one here. So the clarity just gives it overall sharpness, it makes everything pop on the image. Again, you don't want to go too far. If you go all the way to the edge, it just looks a little bit too sharp, it looks a bit silly. So I'm going to drop that down, and then I'm probably going to leave it around, let's try and go 35. There we go, stick it around 35. I'm not going to add a vignette to the image. You can do if you like. The vignette will just add a darker or lighter part around the image, so it will draw your focus to the center. I'm not gonna have one on here, and there we go. So now that we've done our edit in Lightroom, you can use the remove chromatic aberration. To be fair, you're not going to really need to if you're using Make 20 Pro. It doesn't really have that much chromatic aberration, and because you're doing a black and white image anyway, you're not going to see like a purple fringe or anything like that. But we just pop that on there. What I'm going to do now, finally on Lightroom, I'm just going to crop it slightly. I'm going to unlock it so I get the corners of the leading lines directly in the corner. There we go, and then there we go. Oh, there's not one in a play ball. No. Over there. Perfect. And then save that one there. You can also straighten the horizon by going into the crop, and you can just press straighten if you want, or you can adjust it however you want. So I want it on about -4. Nah, maybe not. Let's have a little look. Let's try and get those pillars nice and lined up straight together. Well, -1. That seems alright for me. And then we just press on the tick. Now what we want to do is just save the image to our device at the highest available quality and press OK, and it will export. Right then, now what we're going to do is go into the lens distortion app. So if I bring that one up, and then as you can see, it's my very first image on the Adobe Lightroom, and then that one again. So with the lens distortion app, you can add different filters and different objects into your image. So say for example, if we want to add a little lens flare or a light bleed in the back there behind the lighthouse. We're going to call it a lighthouse because I don't really know what it is. What we're going to do is tap on one of these, and then it will add it to our image, and we can make that one smaller. Let's make it quite small. Okay, make that one quite small. And then we're going to go into the saturation, drop that down so it fits well with our black and white. Otherwise, you don't really want to have a colour sun in a black and white image. It just looks a little bit strange. So we've got that one there, and then it's just about placing it where you want the actual sun to be poking through. So I say, I say about there. That looks fine for me. The sun was kind of around that area anyway, so it just gives it that extra effect. Then what we're going to do, we're going to press on the plus layer, the plus layer button there, and then you can choose an extra filter. Now what we're going to do here, we're going to make it look like it's raining. So I'm going to use this button here. Somebody's just hit my car, that's fantastic. I'm going to use this button here, and we're going to pop that one straight there. So then it looks like it's raining on the actual camera lens. And then same again, we're going to be using the saturation. We're going to drop that down so it goes to black and white, and then look at that. It looks like it's raining in your image, which is fantastic. If you want, you can go a little bit crazier. You can add like a fog in the bottom as well. I've just accidentally deleted my my rain filter there, but you can add some fog in the bottom there, and then you can change the opacity so it's not as strong, like that, and then you can change it so it's not as blurry, and you can change the brightness so you can brighten it, change the contrast of it so it shows up a little bit more. I quite like that, to be fair. I like the smoke. Let's try and see if we can pop it going down the center like that. Let's change the contrast a little bit, and then we'll make that a little bit smaller. Let's get rid of that a second. So it looks like it's just creeping in. We're going to drop the opacity a little bit more. There we are. We're going to add the rain back in by adding an additional filter. Go into the shimmer section, add that one there. Change the saturation, change it so it's a different direction. Now you can make this bigger or smaller depending on how big you want the rain to be, essentially. But we're going to have it about there. Tell you what, I'm going to get rid of that fog because I feel that's a little bit too much. There we go. And then what we have to do to save it is just press on the button on the top right hand corner, and then it shall say you can share it with different devices and stuff like that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go right to the end, press save image, and it will save the image to my device and give you this image. So guys, there we have it. That's how you get great moody looking images from your smartphone and just using 2 applications. As always, if you have any questions, either contact myself through my George Huawei Facebook page, or contact any of your local RSS, or if you want, you can follow the Huawei Masters of Photography Facebook page that I run as well to share your great photos and images after watching this tutorial. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.